Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome to Gladiator Guild Manager. Now this came out in June of this year and I was lucky enough to receive a code to take a look at it. It's actually a really good game. So we're going to start off with a campaign. We're going to start a new game. I've already played it a little bit so we kind of know what we're going with. I'm going to be the red team. We're going to take permanent death off, and we don't want to unlock all gladiators from the start, and we don't want to unlock all gladiator traits from the start. We're not going to go with random gladiators. Now, random gladiators is really good because it starts with your first 3 gladiator buildings randomized, and that means you can get like a massive variety of different characters. I'm going to put the tutorial on simply because I'm still rusty, still learning the game, and I kind of want to introduce it to you in the way that you find it out from the tutorial. Basically, with your gladiators, what you'll start with, if you don't click random, is a knight, a berserker, and an archer. So you have a tank, a melee ranged DPS, and a ranged DPS. If you went with random, you could get everything, and it does make it a little bit more challenging. I've tried a random start a few times, but then I didn't get tanks, which meant I had to really, it made it difficult. And you'll find out why it was difficult as we start the game. So we're going to kick things off. Now, gold compensation, I think that's your permanent death. You will get gold back. So every time a gladiator dies, your gladiator can't be revived if you take the permanent death trait. Permanent death thing there. Difficulty, we're going to leave it as normal. That's fine. Tutorial is on. We're going to kick things off. So it is what it says on the tin. You manage a guild of gladiators, and you will unlock new buildings, new career paths. There are various factions to impress. This is Slen. Now, this is fully voice acted, but I don't want the voice acting on because I don't want it to interfere with the commentary, but it is very well voice acted, and a lot of effort has been put into that. So I am the new guild owner and we are in the Deadwoods. I want to know what happened to the previous owner. Turns out he didn't have the stomach for this kind of thing, but he did leave a few buildings we can make use of, so take a look around. And this is Slen. He is our guild assistant. It's nice to meet you, Slen. Gladiator championships are organised at the start of each month. Then there's the old arena named the Ring of Death. We can join the action there each week. They organise a variety of different fight types. I want you to tell me more about that another time. Thank you. And lastly, the Deadwoods has its fair share of problems. Bandits, beasts, feral undead, so expect to be contacted and asked for deadly gladiator services outside of the arena. So let's get started and hire some gladiators. So we can find our gladiators and items here, and in the guild menu we can increase our gladiator and item slots, buy new buildings, and that allows trait and item upgrades or unlock new gladiators. This is the Ring of Death, which we can join each week, and new quests will appear there. And finally, this is our timeline. We can press fast forward or space to start it moving. So we are on day 1. You can see here, this is where the gladiator market updates, and that's where we get a whole new range of gladiators to hire. Now, we can only hire gladiators if we have the buildings to accommodate them. So we're going to go to our guild, and in our guild you can see here we have gladiator houses, which expand our gladiator slots. We have item storage, which expands our item slots. You can see our items on the left here. And the reviving temple, which revives gladiators over time. Higher level gladiators take longer to revive. We've also got a load of different things here. We've got the altar of respec, which lets us reset a gladiator's stats. We've got the trade crucible, which allows them to upgrade their traits, and an items workshop, which lets us upgrade items. Now, in our actual guild slots here, these are kind of like your main areas that you can expand, but then you have these extra bits here. So we've got a tavern, which lets us hire special types of gladiators if that kind of shop appears in events at some point. We then have barracks, which lets us hire knights, who are tanks with melee attack and shield block abilities. We then have the berserker hut, which lets us hire our berserkers, which have long axe attacks usable at small distance. They've got a punch and weapon block abilities, but they are more of a melee fighter than a straight up tank. They don't have enough defensive capabilities, which is why we have the knight. Then we have our archery range, which lets us hire ranged DPS, so archers, marksmen with arrow, shoot and dodge abilities. We then have these extra buildings here that we can build, which are the mace wielder hut, which lets us hire a different type of melee fighter, the shaman, which is a support summoner and healer, and the rhino cave, which lets us hire rhinos, who are tanky beasts who can taunt enemies into attacking it. So that's another tank we can get. Each building has a certain resource cost, so we've got iron, stone and wood, for example, with this mace wielder hut. If we look up in the top right, we've got the the amount of wood, the stone, the iron and the mana crystals that we have, as well as our gold reserves. There's a lot to take in with this UI to begin with, but once you get the hang of it, it's pretty easy. Up in the left we have our reputation with the various factions of the game, the people, the baroness and the necromancer. Now, they will all offer us quests at some point. Sometimes the quests just give you a nice benefit to one faction, but most of the time, if you complete a quest, for example, for the necromancers, it will impact your reputation with the people. But more on that later. In the gladiator market, we can hire our first gladiators. Now here, let's have a look. Fairman the Challenger. We can see he's a knight and he is level 2. He has 12 strength, 820 health, which is pretty good for a tank. But over here, Tamas the Colossus has less strength, less agility. Yeah, and he's level 2 as well, but he does have more health. He also hasn't got a trait, but we can unlock one immediately for him. We've then got over here Durgash the Savage, who comes with a trait. So we're just going to have a look at what he's got here. We have a long axe attack. Hits an enemy with the axe, dealing 202 damage. Punch, which we know, punch is dealing 110 damage. Kick, which deals 18 damage and knocks them down. And weapon block, which blocks a melee attack for 27 damage. But his trait is Swift, which increases his movement speed by 8 points. And push-pull forces are 50% weaker. So I guess when he gets knocked back, he won't get knocked back as far. So as is the only berserker we have, we are going to buy this one. Then we've got Curtis the Challenger. Now Curtis has a trait which is Extrovert. He gains 7.5% strength for each friendly gladiator within range of 2 during battle. So if we take on Curtis, we know that he's going to be next to Durgash in battle, which is going to activate that extroverted trait. Selena the Deadly, Lorelei the Blind, and Anissi Longshot, and we've also got Eris the Restless, got Anariel the Bear Slayer, and Aeona the Blind. Now I'm looking here, and Anariel and Anissi or both have traits. What's Anissi's? Introvert, gains 30% agility if no friendly gladiator is within range of 2 during battle. Now as they're going to be at the back, that might be a good one to take. But over here we've got Young Vampire. Anariel will restore 25% health every time she kills a vampire. So I think we'll take her. And I think that might be a useful trait to have. I think that'll do. So we've got our 3 gladiators to begin with. Then we're just going to have a look at the Ring of Death Arena. Now the Ring of Death Arena, you will get a random choice of battles. You can have a 1v1 where we only have 1 gladiator to fight. We'll have a 2v2, which is where we have 2v2. Pretty obvious. Then few versus 1, where we can have a few gladiators fight 1 enemy who is particularly strong, and then we have the standard 3v3. I'm going to go with a few versus 1 as our first challenge, and we're going to use all of our fighters if we can to take on an enemy. Okay, so we have now loaded in. We have something here called priority points, where we can instruct which target our gladiators focus on. We can click and drag with the right click to select multiple gladiators, hold the control key to keep adding gladiators to the selection, and gladiator info will show abilities and buffs above gladiators at all times. It also displays a grid where each square represents a unit of distance, so there we have it. It looks a little bit more like a tactical map. Then we can place our warriors on the field of battle, so we obviously want our tank right up front, but just backed up by the berserker, and then we want Anariel to be quite far back here. So that's pretty decent. We can then set off on a fight. We'll get a countdown. This guy's a level 3, but you can see he is down with ease, and we've managed to take him off. Right, okay, so Curtis did take the most damage, so he is working well as a tank. Durgash dealt the most damage as expected, and Anariel also dealt a fair bit of damage, but not a great deal. She is only level 1 though, so that's fine. Our enemy took 420 points of damage, and that's it. We get this after every single battle, and then we can continue. So we have a rewards coupon. We open that up, and that gives us a consumable, which is a minor health potion. We can either sell that or put it in our inventory. We have also got 60 gold, we've got 2 mana stones, and we've got 2 of these other items, which I'm not quite sure what they are, so we will find that out very soon. This is a trait blueprint, which is used for learning or upgrading gladiator traits. Now, a minor health potion, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have Anariel equip that minor health potion just in case she gets into a little bit of trouble. These items will be used and then they will vanish from the inventory. And you'll just have to wait until you get some new ones. Now, what we can do is everything's kind of done. We advance our timeline. We have a death and reviving here, which I'm just going to open up. And it's basically explaining us how death and reviving works. Obviously, we have permadeath off, so the Temple of Revival will resurrect our gladiators. It does take a bit of time. We can bring them back to life instantly, but it costs mana crystals. And yes, we can even revive our warriors in the middle of championships. Now, you can see we will have a championship at some point soon, but we don't seem to have unlocked that yet. We've gone into another week, so we can take on a new Ring of Death. I'm going to go with a 3v3 this time. And once again, we are going to have Curtis come in. These are all level 1. We do need to be very careful of this warrior at the back here. So we are going to turn on priority points for this. And we are going to have this one be our priority to take down first. So what we need to do is we can click on a gladiator to instruct which targets they should focus on. So I want to have an Ariel target this one here. So we're going to have a higher priority on that one, and she should now target those ranged enemies. We'll make them extremely high, and we'll also, yeah, I think we can leave these two to just be neutral. What I'll do is I'll click on Durgash, and we'll have Durgash take on fighters only and Curtis take on fighters only. And this is a really nice way to think tactically about your fight. So we'll set off the fight. You can adjust the speed here. I am going to slow it down a little bit so we can see a bit more of the battle here. Now, you can see it looks like she isn't targeting who we want her to. She seems to be just going for... And now she's been knocked down. Now, click and drag with the right... with the right. That's why. She's targeting now, but we have lost Durgash. She's out of stamina. Interesting. I think we've got them now. We'll just speed it up. She's going to go down. That's fine. We've done it. Durgash did fall in battle there, but he will be revived after a certain amount of time. And yeah, that works. So maybe I'd set that priority thing up wrong. We've now got some apples, which will increase our stamina by 150 points. We got some wood and we got more trait tokens. So we'll collect all of those. If we just go over to Anariel, she did use her consumables. So what we'll do is we'll give her an apple. Durgash, we'll leave her with the 2 apples actually, and Durgash can stay as he is. And yeah, that's pretty good. So Ring of Death history. I recall you wanted me to tell you more about the arena. Yes, that I do. Well, Deadwoods has quite a disturbing history. You're new here, but you'll find out eventually about the infamous Crimson Storm and all the rest. That sounds interesting. Indeed. Now, regarding the Ring of Death, it was an arena built by dwarves way back in the days, far more glorious and rich, back when the region was known as Mana Bay. The arena, as of today, is in a horrible state of decay, though currently it's used to organise all kinds of private fights. This is a great opportunity to profit while waiting between each monthly championship. We're going to play up until our first monthly championship. We do have new gladiators in the market, but until I expand the guild, I don't think I'm going to be doing any of that. So we can actually upgrade our archery range, which will allow us to produce better archers, but I do want to kind of save up for a shaman, because I'd like to get a healer into the mix. We can actually buy that now. So now that the shaman hut is in place, we can actually recruit a shaman from our gladiator market. And Zolgan the Rainbringer is an anti-capitalist. So he gains 25% intelligence bonus, but loses 1% for every 100 gold we have. So we have 440 gold, so he will only gain 21%. But, okay, maybe it's... We'll have a look. We will take him. I am interested. And we'll have a look at how that affects us. But, I mean, thankfully, the cost to bring him in brought us right the way down. So, he should gain the full 25% intelligence bonus. The minimum intelligence bonus he can get is 20% by the looks of things. I thought that was a minimum of minus 20%, which means if we had 100 gold or whatever, he would lose, so he'd only get 5. No, it's definitely the minimum bonus from that is 20%. So we can have 500 gold safely, and all he will still get is the 20% bonus to his intelligence. So that's fine. Right then, we have done that. We've now just got to speed up the time a little bit. We've got an item market update, a gladiator market. We're just going to pause again because we have a rumor whisperer. So the Baroness has arrived. We've located one of the high necromancer's rumor whisperers hiding in the village. I need you to take care of him. We will do that. But you can see here, we will lose 30 reputation with the necromancer. But we'll gain 20 with her. I want to know who the rumor whisperer is. The dangerous men who spread even more dangerous lies. What lies? Lies about a red-haired, low-born she-elf witch who's going to bring doom upon the regions. Would that happen to be you? Correct. Not good for the Deadwoods district, he says. Blames me for the Crimson Mist and pretty much anything bad that happens around here. I understand. We located one of the do we want to do? Yes, we will do it. So we then proceed to a battle screen where we have Jurg the Sloppy, who is one of the rumor whisperers. We are going to bring in an Ariel. Again, we're also going to have Curtis. Oh, we can only have the one. So what I'll do is I'll just have Durgash go after him. That should be fine. We can also adjust his priority points back down to normal. And then we'll have him fight. We'll leave the speed at 100% because you can see he's going to make very quick work of him. This should not take us long at all. Knocks him down, smacks him with his axe, kicks him, punches him, smacks him with his axe. There we go. Durgash gets the victory for us, and you missed his celebration, but he plays his axe like a guitar. It's pretty funny. It's quite humorous. It definitely doesn't take itself too seriously, so no more whispering from him. Yep, all taken care of. We can choose a reward here, and I am going to choose a reward of wood. And you can see here our reputation with the High Necromancer drops to 20, but we are up to 70 with the Baroness. Now the hope is we get a quest from the Necromancer soon. We can now do another Ring of Death. We'll go with a 2v2, and this time we are going to take the Rainbringer and Curtis. I think, actually no, we better not. So Tex here is a mace wielder, and we've got Selena the Silent at the back there. So we'll bring Durgash, we'll have Curtis go in, and we are going to have them take on the ranged enemies as a priority so they can go straight to the back and take out that archer. Off we go. He's running straight through. Yeah, they're running. They're going for the archer. The mace wielder has knocked Durgash down, which could be deadly for us. I think we're okay, though. We're going to fight back. And down he goes. Nobody died. And yeah, so this priority thing, I don't think it was in when I played the game before, so that might be a new addition, and I really like that. It gives us a chance to wipe out anything that might be a high risk to us if we can deal with anything that goes wrong. So we've gained some new items there. We have gained crafting tools for upgrading universal items. We got some more apples. So I'm going to give Durgash, because he seems to need a lot of stamina, we will give Durgash the apples so he can continue replenishing his stamina in battle. And then again, we fast forward, we've got new gladiators in the market, so we have new archers and another shaman, but we don't have enough gold really, so we'll just carry on. We have help raising the dead. Okay, this comes from the High Necromancer. Some half-wit peasants have blocked the graveyard, preventing my necromancers from performing their work. I beseech your gladiators to clear the way. Why are they blocking the graveyard? The usual reason, superstitious nonsense. They claim that raising the dead is a sacrilege or something to that effect, isn't it? Dead meat is dead meat. Once the soul forsakes the flesh, my church has rights to that meat. Besides, would they rather send their own children to guard the borders? Why are we guarding the borders? Yes, I send dozens of undead each month to the borders. This blighted district just had to reside at the very edge with the Tyrell Kingdom. I assume our Kingdom of Andarion compensates you for your efforts. They better. If they don't like it, they can learn how to raise the dead themselves. That sounds fair to me. So why did you come to this district exactly? Those are private matters of the church, young one. Fine. I see. We'll start thrashing him to pieces. So this is how, I didn't even look at how our reputation will be affected, but we have two pitchforkmen here. We're going to once again go with Curtis the Challenger, and we'll take Anariel the Bear Slayer for that. We'll reduce the priorities down to normal, but we'll make sure that Curtis is just on normal as well. We'll put him up to fighter. I mean, I know there are only fighter enemies here, so we'll have him go for it. So Curtis should be able to hold off while Anariel... Ooh, this might be tense, actually. I think Anariel's going to get it there, though. Yeah, she's got one down, and she should finish the other ones off. Yeah, now we took an Ariel because I do want to get her to level 2 as quickly as possible. I don't know how far off she is now. We'll have a quick look at her fact file. So that's all done. We lose 20 reputation with the people. We need to pick a reward. I am going to take the iron. Oh, that's good. So yes, we go back up to 45 with the necromancer, and we're on 30 with the people. We also have a gladiator wage coming out, but then the championship comes not long after it. The gladiator shop's got units on discount around the 27th. We'll go into our ring of death. We've got a 1v1 in the ring of death. I assume we're probably just going to go. So there's a tank there, Tamas the Colossus. We're going to take Durgash in. We'll make sure that his priorities just reset to the default, and then we'll kick the fight off. So Durgash should make short work of this guy. He's got far too much about him. He might be a tank, but the tank's got nothing around him. There we go. Durgash takes the win. And we have cleared a full house at the arena. We've got more items there, more apples, and we can collect some stone as well, which is really good. So the apples, again, I'm going to give those to Durgash because he did consume both of his apples in the fights that we've been having. And yeah, we're looking pretty good. We've got trait blueprints. We were going to have a look at an Ariel and see how much experience she needs for a level up. She's on 372 out of 600. So we'll speed up again. And in the early phases of the game, there's not a great deal to do. We'll go to the Gladiator Market now because we should have some discounts. We've got Tex the Obliterator, who needs a Mace Wielder Hut, and Yoson the Coyote tank, and another tank there. Fairman the Anvil. Now, he might be a good pickup, actually. 144. But I would like Tex the Obliterator as well. So we'll just have a quick look at our guild and see if we can buy the Mace Wielder Hut, and we can. So we now have access to the Mace Wielder Hut. We will bring in Tex the Obliterator, and oh, we don't have enough space. We need another gladiator house. So let's go to our guild. 25 stone. We don't have enough stone, which is unfortunate. So we're going to have to wait. We can just about get into the Ring of Death for new battle choices. We've got a few v1 there. I think it's probably going to be 3 against 1 again. We'll take Curtis. We'll take Durgash, and we'll take an Ariel, and we'll have Curtis go right up top. We'll bring you back a little bit, and there we go. So this should kick off, and hopefully we can get a knockdown on him. Oh, he's knocked down Durgash. Can we get him knocked down ourselves? Ah, we did it in time. That's fine. Durgash survives, and hopefully an Ariel will get closer to a level up. More items. We got no stone though, which is unfortunate, so we're just going to have to wait. We've got help raising the dead again. Can we get some stone from this one? The blighted half-wits are at it again, interrupting our raising rituals. Have you ever seen what a half-baked ghoul looks like? We had to bash his demented brains in as a mercy. Now I would like you to do the same to those peasants. They're really protective of their ancestors. They're merely fools standing in the way of progress. I can understand their reasons, but fine. No problem. We'll take out these peasants. We have the granny, Odette Two Blades, who seems to be some sort of, I guess that would be a thief class or some sort of, yeah, okay, so we better be aware of that. We're going to take Zolgan the Rainbringer. Let's have a quick look at what he's got. He can heal. He's got a fire totem and weapon block and a melee attack. So we will bring him in. We'll give an Ariel a rest and hope that our shaman can help us out here. Oh, there's a ring of fire. Ah, okay, so the totems are great, actually. The healing totem will help out our tanks. We do need to bring down that granny as quickly as possible. I didn't think I'd ever say that in a video. We need to take the granny out as soon as possible. But our healing totem really did do a good job there, actually, so that's really good. Curtis the Challenger. Damage blocked from Durgash. Damage taken from Durgash. Durgash did take a fair bit of damage, but it was all about Curtis there. And we can continue on, and hopefully we get some stone this time. We do. We get 30 stone. So at the rewards, I'm going to take my stone. The peasants now really don't like me. And we're going to go to our gladiator market. We're going to pick up Tex. Oh, yes, of course. Before we do that, we need to buy some more gladiator slots. We get 4 new slots for every house we unlock. So we'll take in Tex. And then I will take on the other tank if he's still knocking around here. There he is, Fairman the Anvil. Great. So we now have a nice set of warriors here who can help us out in battle. We'll get that. Just doing a little bit of sorting out there so we can get it right. And Ariel is still about 103 experience points short of leveling up. We have a tournament to contend with though. So a Gladiator Fighting Championship at the graveyard. Let's go. Right, so this is where it all comes down to. Every month you will have a fight. And you get to pick which one of these you get. And each one you do, you will get a different type of rewards coupon. You also have a difficulty level. So this one is a level 1 difficulty. This one is 0.67. So these ones are a little bit easier. This more difficult one, though, gives us a better rewards coupon. So I'm going to take on this one because we've got 2 archers who are level 2 and level 1. We should be able to bring them down pretty quickly. We are going to go with Curtis. We're also going to go with Durgash, and we will bring Zolgan. We then want to just make sure that we're going here and prioritizing our fighters to take down these ranged enemies. Again, we don't really need to do this because there are only ranged enemies on the map, but I just want to make sure that these two really go for it. So we'll speed it all the way up. We should be able to take them down pretty quickly. Yes, we do. And we get a nice reward, and we are now 1 of 5 in the arena. Now over here we have Korog the Savage, who's a berserker. We've got a shaman. We've 2 shamans there. So what we'll do is we'll take this one again, and we will this time we'll keep things the same. We want to just make sure our shaman's right at the back, and we want these two to actually prioritize fighter enemies. No, we want them to bring down the fighter first. What I might do is I might actually have Durgash go after the support enemies. Now these are classed as support, aren't they? Just trying to, yeah, support, summoner, healer. Okay, so Durgash will now hopefully go after both of those, and we'll have Zolgan. We want them to save our fighter allies and also attack the support allies. So hopefully Curtis will be able to fight and keep Korog at bay while he's healed by Zolgan's totems. Yeah, I think that works. We're also going to give Curtis, and we give Curtis the carrot. Curtis the carrot. There we go. Right, we've done it. Curtis is pretty close to level up. So let's kick things off. We're going to rack our speed up a little bit, and hopefully we'll be able to go in and take down these shaman as quickly as possible. We've got one of them down. The totems are down and out, and we've taken a victory. Nobody died. I did not really catch. I probably shouldn't have sped that up so much, but we are now 2 victories out of 5 in the graveyard. We've completed 2 fights out of 5 in the graveyard, and again we come with 2 once again these are 2 knights, which should be an easy victory. 2 tanks still not do a great deal of damage to us. Curtis can be leveled up, and what we're going to do is we are going to increase his strength, and we're going to give him a lot more health. As a tank, that's absolutely what he needs. Also, Durgash has increased. We're going to give him a lot more strength, and then we're also just going to boost his health a little bit because it is on the short side. We're going to take on this challenge here. We're going to drop our shaman, and we're going to bring in Nariel the Bear Slayer. She should be able to do a fair bit of damage from distance, so I'm quite happy with that. And we will just reset everybody's priority to the default. And yeah, that works great. Let's kick things off again. We're going to go 100%. We're going to zoom in a little bit this time. You can see Durgash just making quick work of the first knight, and he'll then come to the second one. This is an easy fight. It's not as difficult as the game told us. So that's another victory. 3 of 5. We're doing very, very well. And Anariel finally has her level up. Now, I just want to have a quick look over at what we need to look at when we're leveling people up. So, as an archer, Anariel has 2 abilities here. There's dodge and there's shoot arrow. Obviously they will unlock more abilities as they level up, but if we have a look, they shoot an arrow dealing 81 damage with an accuracy of 82.22%. Now you can see that they have like a little bit of a highlight behind them. If we hover over them, it tells you how that damage is worked out. So they have a base damage of 25, but that is then further influenced by their agility and their strength, both to the power of 4. So whatever agility they have, is their base agility is multiplied by 4, and their base strength is multiplied by 4. So as you can see here, they have 11 agility, which is multiplied by 4 to get 44, and they have 3 strength, which is multiplied by 4 to get the 12. Those base figures are then added together to get a number of 56, and then the base damage is added on to take us up to 81. So that is where that damage is worked out. Their accuracy is derived from agility only. So to get a really good amount of damage here, we don't really want to focus on strength because the accuracy is impacted by agility as well as the damage. So we need to increase the agility of Anariel as high as possible. We go to your dodge, that is also influenced by agility. So for your archers, you just want to boost agility. You can see now she does 121 damage with an accuracy of 84.24%. If we go down here, the execution time is also influenced by agility and cooldown is influenced by intelligence. So we can increase the cooldown by increasing her intelligence and make that a much quicker cooldown between her being able to shoot arrows. But now we'll leave it at that though. We now have another fight in the graveyard. This one, again, difficult, but it looks like, again, it's just 2 archers. We're going to continue going on with this one, and this time we're going to keep our archer in the battle. We are going to leave Durgash and Curtis in there as well. In fact, I'm going to drop Curtis. I'm going to bring in Fairman, and then hopefully that'll increase. He'll get some experience from the fight as well. Maybe we'll bring in Tex at some point. Actually, we'll drop an Ariel and we'll bring Tex in as well, because they'll all get increases to their abilities because they have they're swift. So both of our berserker classes, well, both of our melee DDs are swift, and Fairman gets increased strength based on people being close to him. Now this is not good. We don't want our mace wielder going after him. We'd prefer to have our mace wielder in and around the rest of the fighters, but we have managed to just about grind out that victory there. So that was quite dicey. I didn't really like that, but it's fine. We've made it through. Tex gets quite a bit of experience from that fight. Let's have a look at what our final fight is going to be. We've got 2 tanks and an archer. So I'm going to accept that fight. We're going to keep Fairman in, we're going to keep Durgash in, we're going to keep Tex in, but we are going to drop Tex to the back a little bit. Now, I just want Tex, I want them all actually to, I want these 2 to target the ranged enemy to bring them down as quickly as possible, and I want my tank to stay on the fighters. Let's kick it off, and here we go. The tank pulls one of them. The berserker is, yeah, that's good. We're okay for now. Hopefully the tank can just stay on them. Mace wielder's coming in. And yeah, we're safe. We're safe. Nice and easy. 5 for 5 in the championship. That's a very, very good end. Really enjoyed that. That was a nice tournament victory. We've got 5 reward coupons, which will bring us in a lot of stuff. We've got an Amulet of Crimson Vitality from this first one, which restores 4% of the Gladiator's maximum health every 4 seconds, and it's doubled during the Crimson Mist, which I assume is just an event. So we're going to keep that one, and we're going to collect everything from them. We get that item there, and we've gotten a load of trait blueprints, a load of crafting tools, nice bit of gold, and then plenty of mana crystals as well. We go to our guild. We've also got a few new buildings here. We've got the Rhino Cave, which we still have from the beginning, a Hunter Cabin, a Druid Home, and a Warlock Crypt. All of them give us new access to stuff, but we've also got the farm here, which is a new championship. So we have the graveyard, which we've completed, 5 for 5, and we have a farm, which unlocks at the end of this month for a new championship. We can expand our guild, and we can get another action in the Ring of Death in 6 days' time. So I hope that was a nice little introduction to Gladiator Guild Manager. It's a really cool game, and it's fun to just put in a few hours. It almost looks a bit like a mobile game. I don't know if it is out on mobile, but I think it's really cool. I've really enjoyed playing it and kind of experiencing it a little bit. We're going to take on another Ring of Death just to see this out. I'm going to go 1v1, see who we get. We got, the granny. So we better take Durgash in. I'm sure he'll be able to make quick work of it. And what I'll do is I'll give Durgash this amulet so that he can get some health restore. There we go. Fight. Take down this granny. It's like ranged throwing daggers, but getting knocked down is great. Durgash's knockdown is very powerful. That gives him 250 experience, and we get a nice win just to see things out. Finally, we get another quest. We've got Scroll of Groundedness, which makes our gladiators immune to knockdowns, which would be a great one for tanks, so we can give that to our tank. Help raising the dead. Once again, they won't give it a rest. We'll have to spill more peasants' blood and teach them the price of interfering with matters of the church. I think this is our perfect final battle because it looks like we have a elite enemy here who's got armor and all sorts on there. Fence wielders basically are tanks. They wield a piece of fence as their shield. What did they do this time? They're protesting, So what do you mean? So I want them to stop stealing our livelihood. How do you think the Church of the Dead makes their living? Donations? Bah, like hell. We provide undead to protect district borders, and in return the kingdom supports us with coin. Or sometimes we just sell them to whoever. To the highest bidder. Who cares? Most of them are sold to the army anyway. Gotta earn the coin where you can. That's what gladiators are for. Let's go. We'll finish off with this final battle. We get to use 4, but I'm going to bring Curtis in. We're also going to take Durgash. we're going to take an Ariel, and we're going to allow Zolgan to come in as well. Then we want our priorities. We want you to priority ranged, and again, support. We're going to go with ranged here, and we're going to go with ranged here. Now, this could be a tough fight because those grannies do a fair bit of damage, but as long as our tank can keep those guys at bay, we should be okay. So Durgash is making a beeline for them. He has resisted it. Oh god, Durgash, you legend. He is doing some serious damage here. Now we go down to the tanks. Just zoom in a little bit. You can see that this might get quite crazy, really, by the way things are. But those totems from the shaman are fantastic, and we claim a victory, and I think that just about finishes that little quest line for the High Necromancer. Now we'll see if they feel like doing any more peaceful protest. Oh, it was a peaceful protest then. The worst kind, passive-aggressive criminals. We need to work on our communication, old man. So we get some rewards. We get a wood cutting axe, which increases strength. We get a softly enhanced ring, which increases intelligence, or an elder staff, which increases intelligence by 3 and stamina by 25. I'm going to take the elder staff, and then we get all of our usual rewards that we can choose from here. I'm going to take some wood because I'm a bit short on that. And you can see here, they don't like us at all now. We are now minus 40 with the people. So next time we're probably going to need to make sure that we don't allow any quests that will negatively impact our relationship with the people. We've got a load more gladiators in the market, but we are going to leave it there for now. I hope you've enjoyed this look at Gladiator Guild Manager. It's a really fun game, and it is out on Steam, so do pick it up if you are feeling like something like this. If you do want to see more, drop me a comment and let me know, because I'm always looking for new games to feature a little bit more and turn into a bit more of a series, or we could save this one for a stream. So thanks for watching, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.